The aim of PEDS is to make sure that you make how will I put it? You make informed decision on your own without anybody. But even after PEDS, if you want to, we have a Telegram community. If you want to join the Telegram community and be part of asking questions or whatever, or anything that stands as support for you, you can also join our Telegram community after. We also have a WhatsApp channel that you can join. We drop information there. We drop most of the things we post on Instagram, or if we find anything new, that the WhatsApp channel is free. You can join also. So whichever you want. But the aim of PEDS is to make sure that wherever you are or you are going, you can make informed decision. But we also know that there's a part of community where you want to be around people that are of like mind. People make lifelong friends from PEDS. I know a lot of people that have made lifelong friends from PEDS. Oh, my this operations manager is saying that we need to move on. Sorry, Ugochi. So our next speaker is Ugochi Obidiegwu. I hope I'm able to pronounce that very well. She's going to be talking to us about safe spaces and confident children, building physical and emotional safety at home. The reason why we wanted to introduce this is while we talk about nutrition and everything, there are other aspects of a child's life that can also affect them. So if those parts of their life is also shaking, your child might be very unstable and it can also affect their nutrition. So building a physically and emotionally safe emotional safety at home, that's what Ugochi is going to be talking about. Ugochi is the founder of Safety Chick, a venture that develops African themed safety education products, programs, and digital games to reduce unintentional injuries and increase safety awareness amongst children, parents, and educators. Please, mamas, welcome Ugochi as she takes this next session. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, sorry for taking your time, please. Ugochi, you can take the stage.
Hi, Labake. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Ifeyinwa. Good afternoon, parents. Can I ask, can I be made a co-host? Is that possible?
Yes, sure. Please, Rumi, make her co-host.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. I've just been, listening and soaking in everything that is being said, and you are really in the right place. Because I'm one person that really believes in the power of knowledge. Education makes a whole lot of difference. And so, things like this helps to shorten one's learning curve. You don't have to go and learn everything from scratch. If somebody has already learned it, they have cracked the code, they know how to get it done. Please just follow the follow who know road, like they would say in
Follow no road.
Nigeria.
Yes.
So okay, I can see I haven't been made. So I would really love to okay, so maybe I should ask whoever is the host. If you click the three buttons beside my video, you should see an option there that says Spotlight Video. So that way it helps with the recording so that if maybe somebody else unmutes their mic or something, it doesn't take over the entire screen. Do you see what I mean? So if you can do that for me, I would really, I thought I would have been made co-host. I would have just done it myself without interruptions. But I mean, you can help me to do that.
Okay. Umi, please, help her, please. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. So education is just, powerful. Even with this, what we're going to be talking about today in safety, you might already know some of the things I would be sharing, but by the time I show it to you in a different context, it's just to expand your mind so that you go on and, do the other things that you're supposed to do and do it better. Okay. Okay, so I think I'll have to just find a way to do it myself. I'm going to start
Where
sharing
is
my
Umi? Umi, where are you?
don't
Umi, are
worry,
you
I
on
got
this
it.
call?
I've pinned it. I've pinned it, and I'm going to start sharing my screen. I just didn't want to override, I mean, I'm a guest here, so I'm respecting the house protocol, but I don't want to also waste our time. I'm trying to respect everyone on the call. So, yeah, we'll keep it moving. All right, so today we're going to be talking about safe spaces, confident kids, building physical and emotional safety at home. I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me. Um, when you reached out, I had to check you guys out. I'm like, okay, fantastic. I always love to be in spaces where knowledge is shared because I know that that's the way we're going to make things really better for children. And children are very important to me. I want them to have a better life and I just want things to work out. So, yeah, I'm glad that you invited me. So, who am I? I'm the founder of The Safety Chick. I also run a foundation, author of several books, strategist, because that's how my brain works. I think end to end, problem to solution. How can we make things work? Early stage impact investor and TEDx speaker. What does The Safety Chick do? We create child safety education resources that make safety fun, memorable for children and also for parents and educators because safety can sort of seem like a complex subject, and we just want to make it simple and practicable so that you do not have to go and do a safety certification, for example. You do not have to go and be a safety professional, but with the little that we share in practical ways, you're able to take that knowledge and run with it. Hello, baby. Why do we exist? This is basically our mission, creating that safer future for African children by creating these products. Now we go beyond that to also collaborate with global partners to implement child safety solutions because we see that the issue we have here, it's also similar in different African countries, also similar across different borders and all of that. So we really want to do that, and we've been advocating for stronger policies so that we can reduce unintentional injuries affecting children. And the larger vision is let's just create a safer future for our African children. All right, so let's get into it. This is what I call a child safety iceberg home edition. Now, we all know what an iceberg is. First of all, let me check. Are you still with me? If you are with me in the comment section, say yes, yes, yes. I really love an interactive class. So many of the things we'll do, I would ask you.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
good job. Thank you. So we are together. So back to the child safety iceberg. So this is just something that I came up with. Child safety iceberg home edition. The concept of an iceberg is that it looks very small at the top, and you think that it's nothing, it's not that deep. We can make it work. But then there is a bigger issue below. And so if you do not take things into consideration, you might think you're only working with what is at the surface, but then there is a whole lot more. So now if we bring it, contextualize this to child safety, the top of the iceberg is physical hazard, what you and I can see. In safety, we say that a hazard is anything with the potential to cause harm. So you can see in the image, maybe a child there, and then there's a cleaning fluid, but because it looks like it's in this beautiful container, they don't know better. They want to try it out. And then if it is smelling fruity, they think that it's juice or something. And then there is, electrical appliances and all of that. But there is the foundation, which is emotional safety. Many times as parents, what we focus on is on the things we can see with our eyes, right? Things in the environment. But there are other things that if we do not sort it out at the foundation, we're not going to be able to build this emotional resilient children that we want to build, because now nutrition for kids is teaching you how to feed your children. But if you feed them properly but then you don't take care of their other needs, you don't take care of their environment, then you are putting them still at risk. And that's why I applaud the organizers for looking at this from a well-rounded perspective. You want to take care of the whole child, not just one aspect of it. And so many times today in my conversation with you, we're going to keep coming back to this child safety iceberg. Because it's not only about what we can see. What about the things we cannot see? Can your child communicate to you freely if somebody has touched them wrongly? Can they speak to you if somebody is bullying them in school? Can they speak to you if they just feel a type of way about somebody that you have brought into your home? Do they feel safe? Or are you the lion of the tribe of Judah in your house? Nobody can talk. Once they see you, they start running and they're hiding things. Also, things as simple as having a consistent routine when they can always know that my dad or my mom would show up at this particular time to do so, so, and so. Is that present? Can they really count that when you say it is time for lunch, lunch is actually going to be served? Can they counter that? Those things, it might look like it doesn't matter, but you know, how we do one thing can translate to how we do every other thing. If your child from the beginning starts making excuses for you, oh, she will not come, oh, she won't do it, or no, I'm not sure. Then when there are real issues, when they now need to confide in you, would they come to you or would they go to someone else? So trust and belonging is very important, because this is where we now begin to build that foundation for our children to let them know that, yes, we can take care of them, and that if we say we are standing behind them for real, they don't even need to look at the back. They know that, yes, you are standing behind them. All right. So quick question in the comment section. Just as I've been speaking and I spoke about a hazard is anything with the potential to cause harm. What part of your home worries you when you think about your children? I want to see it in the chat. As you were thinking about maybe the physical things we see and the ones we don't see, what were some thoughts that came to mind? Is there a part of your home that you worry about where your children are concerned? So I'll be looking in the chat box so that I'll be sure that we are still together, that I'm not by myself. Okay. Let me see. Okay, Abiola says the kitchen. Chika says our gadgets. Yes. Favor says climbing the cushion without supervision. EJ says the bathroom. Yes. Yes. Terry says the bathroom because my 13 months, she's playful. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. These are important things to know, because the first step to solving any problem is even realizing that it exists. Because if you're not conscious of it, then you're not even able to take the action that you are supposed to take. So we're going to run on. We're supposed to actually do this spot the hazard thing, but this morning I received in my DM about the timing for my session. And I'm not sure we have time for this, so I'm just going to let it pass. But just to let you know that sometimes the things we take for granted in the home could actually be sources of issues to ourselves and our children. You know this thing about a domino effect. So maybe as a mom, you are carrying your child or your child is at one side and you sleep. And then because you're trying to protect one thing, you hit another thing, and then a lot can go wrong within a few seconds. So that's why we must be conscious of our environment at every point in time. So let's go into some data. I did this research in 2023 because I was just really curious to how can we help Black children? How can we know what are the major things causing issues, injuries, and deaths in Black children, and how can we avoid it? So if you look at this 5-year trend on the chart, this data is public. You can find it on Tableau Public. You see that for non-Hispanic Black children, by the way, the data was gathered from data in the US, because I'm currently in the US, right? But there are some lessons we can also take for us, even on the African continent, and regardless of wherever you find yourself. 5-year injury trend, the top 3 things that led to injury, unintentional injury, and death in Black children were suffocation, number 1, drowning, number 2, firearm, because it was the US. Now, for non-Hispanic Black children, you see that where it is firearm, for them it is fire or hot object. Because, in the US, there's this thing of shooting and, Black children and Black, and all of that. So you can see how the distance, just compare firearm, drowning, suffocation. See how wide, and this is per 100,000 children. Now, I want you to also see this data. So when we picked the top 3 now, you see that we have drowning, we have fire, hot or hot object, and then we have suffocation. When I did a deeper dive, there was something I saw in the next slide that I needed to pay attention to. Over the 10-year period where this data was gathered, you see that for drowning, the numbers began to go down. Can you see this green? You see it's squiggly, it goes up, it goes down, but generally there was a downward trend. Now for fire, hot object, electricity, and all of that, also notice there was a downward trend. But guess what? Can you see suffocation? Suffocation kept going up while others were going down. What does that tell you? Now, when we find out that something can cause harm, the first thing we begin to do is we start advocating, we start sensitizing, we tell people about it. And on account of that, because people are now more informed, education is happening, resources are being shared, information is everywhere, change begins to happen, it begins to go down. But nobody was paying attention to suffocation because you didn't really think, is that really a thing? Because again, when we think of hazards, we're thinking of the physical things we can see. But suffocation, it feels like, what could... In fact, tell me in the comment section, when was the last time you saw an Instagram post that told you how to prevent suffocation in children? Just think about, when was the last time? How many times have you seen? It is few and far between. And suffocation could happen from placing your babies wrongly when they are sleeping, then too many materials on the bed, too many stuffed animals, the sheets, and then because they are too small, they can't move themselves. Also, it could also happen when children are playing, those plastic bags that comes with toys and all those things. Playing with it and they mistakenly put it over their heads. Within a few seconds, if nobody is there to take it off and they're not able to remove it, suffocation could happen. I'm still checking in the chat to see the last time you saw an Instagram post or a TikTok video that told you how to prevent suffocation. So we have over hundreds of people on this call right now, and maybe we don't even have one person, or maybe it's few and far between. That should tell you why the trend is going up. And this was over a 10-year period between, let me see, the chat. Somebody says, Ifeanyi also says, force feeding. Folu says like 4 years ago. Just imagine that. Ime says, every day I say nursery design with many things on the bed, it is scary. So these are the issues. And many times, because we don't call attention to these things, we might not take it seriously. But the reason I decided to start with data is because I want you to see how serious these things are. But now let's go to what are the current top 3, because this data was 2000 to 2015, right? And we are in 2026, so we have to move like what's the big 3 currently. In no particular order, we have falls. And falls, that bracket is slips, trips, and falls. Anything that can make you to move from the surface you're on and land on and land on the ground. Mercy, please do not write on my screen. Thank you. That's falls. So you see children are falling because there was water on the floor, they were running, and so they slipped and they fell. Or they are running on the stairs. So instead of them to take it one after the other, they are flying. Or they are on the stairs, they're also not holding onto the handrail and then they stumbled. Or the carpet in your house is not properly laid. There's a corner that has turned up, either a carpet or rug, because it is not smooth. If somebody is not paying full attention, they could actually slip. So those little things that we take for granted could actually cause issues for us. And so as I'm speaking, I want you to be thinking, evaluate your house and begin to tell yourself, what are the things you're going to change going forward? Falls is one of the big 3. The next is fire-related accidents and electricity. So there is the socket. So some of you want to put something in the socket. You take one item, you press something, and then you put it. Your child is watching you. Now, you know about conductors and non-conductors. You know that it is, you know that you didn't use maybe a metal object to do that. You are wise enough to know that your child does not know. What your child knows that they saw you put something, put something, and one day they will go and try their luck. And maybe they would use a metal object, and that could lead to issues. Then there is also the case of fire-related things. So in the kitchen, you are supposed to have like a 3-step radius around every hot object so that your children do not go within that radius. So when you're cooking many things at the same time. The handle, where is it facing? If your toddler is moving up and down, can they mistakenly bump into something? Is it the case of also hot water and hot oil? Almost many children have experienced the hot water, the hot oil thing. because at their age, they can't really tell, they don't have that, should I say, well-developed sense of harm yet. And so it's your responsibility. If a fire started in your house, if there is smoke, do you know what to do? Does your child know what to do? We always teach children through our child safety storybook, when you find yourself in a smoke-filled building, go down low and crawl out. Because when you go down low, because smoke rises, it's at the top. You are down, you can see and breathe to escape from a burning building and all those things. So fire-related accidents, electricity-related accidents are part of the top 3. So you begin to look around your house when you are cooking, when you put hot water or hot oil, what kind of receptacle are you using? Is it something that your child can just drag and then it falls on them mistakenly? Because again, they do not have that well-developed sense of harm yet. So you have to be their eyes and ears, as it were. Be on the lookout, create a safe space. And what's the third one? Choking and poisoning. So if he mentioned about force feeding earlier, now we currently have a situation where there are so many toys, that we buy for our children, which is not a bad thing to buy toys for your children. But sometimes these toys have detachable small bits. They have removable batteries, button batteries, and then these children ingest it and it could cause choking. It could cause poison by extension. It's also the case of when a child is being forced to eat something or given food that is, much bigger than them, and then they're choking on it and nobody knows to administer back blows, 5 back blows, so that the thing can dislodge and then the child can spit it out. Or the Heimlich maneuver, like this image is showing, where you put your hand behind the child and then you lift 5 times so that it forces it out. So we are talking about nutrition for kids. You are feeding children. You must know how to prevent choking. And one of the ways to do that is the 5 back blows. You put the child over you and then you use this part of your palm and you hit at the middle of the back at the top, But if it's a small baby, you turn them over and then you use your 2 fingers in the middle, So you must know how to do these things, because if you do not know, how can you solve the problem? And then, of course, poisoning. Poisoning because sometimes we keep fluids in the wrong containers that are not properly labeled and that are within reach of children. So your kerosene, your fuel is in ever bottle container. Why? Where every time your child has seen the ever bottle, it is associated with good drinking water. And then when you put something else in it, it is not properly labeled, it is within reach, and then they think it is something else when it isn't. Or is it all our detergents and washing fluids, how they look so fruity, beautiful colors, and all of that? We must become intentional about the things around our homes that could cause harm to our children. So what do? You must begin to think of how you can build safety competence in your children. So you have to involve them. It's a concept I always speak about to parents and educators every time I speak like this, and it's called the concept of a family safety meeting. And I know when we say that, it sounds too formal, too serious, but what it basically means is a time where you and your family can, sit together, spend time, gist, have fun, and then in that moment, you infuse a safety lesson into it. So just imagine that maybe in your family, you have suya night every Friday or movie night every Saturday. And then when you do your movie night and when you're done, you begin to ask them questions. Oh, so what happened in school? What did you learn? What was your major highlight? And all of that. And then you pick one topic on safety. And so this week, we're going to learn about maybe, for example, fire safety. And then you teach them. Of course, you do your research, right? Get resources and teach them. And then the next week, maybe you teach them about drowning. The upper week, you teach them about electricity. Do you see? Over time, your child would gather so much and they begin to look forward to those moments, because this is how we build core memories. When your child is not with you anymore, they are grown. They may not remember what you fed them, but they're going to remember the times when you spent time together, you laughed, you had fun together, they learned something from you. And that is what will help them when they find themselves in situations. I believe that it's important that we empower children before they find themselves in those situations. So involve them. So you come up with that topic, you could tell them, you research on this area and come back and tell us what you found out. Ask them a question. Don't just come and teach them pour only. Get them involved. Don't despise their age. This is very important. There are many stories in the media of how 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds were able to take the right safe action that ensured safety of themselves, their sibling, or an older person, family member in their home, because they were informed. Because the thing about empowering your children is the day they find themselves in an unsafe situation, that knowledge that you have put in them will bubble to the top of their mind. I always say that it is better to have safety knowledge and not need it than need it and not have it. Repetition solidifies learning. So the more you speak about it over and over again, your child learns, they remember. It's just the way I was thinking about it a few days ago that my mom made sure that all of us, after morning prayers growing up, we would say Psalm 23 and Psalm 91. And we all can say it, like it's just follow come, So I was thinking about it this week because in my church, we were talking about, Psalm 23 is very important. And then I was doing a study, Psalm 91, and I just paused and I recited it again by myself, like nothing missing. And you do something that you've repeated for a long time, it becomes a core memory. On the day you need it, the knowledge comes up, even if you haven't said it in a long time. That's the same thing with teaching your child about safety. And then, of course, modeling matters. You can't be telling them, do as I say and not as I do. So you're telling them to do one thing and then you are doing something else. So you have to teach them and show them what you want them to do, because it is how you show up, how you behave, that is going to also regulate them and teach them how to show up. For us at the Safety Chick, we have resources that can help you to build safety competence in your children. We have the ABCs of safety, where it's a coloring book for ages 1 to 5, and just with the letters, A for this, B for that, you're infusing that safety knowledge in them from the beginning. Because imagine that you're trying to, all your life, you have eaten your meals with your right hand, right? And then one day, 35 years old, they come and tell you that, you've been doing it wrong. The best way to eat and the ingredients will enter, the nutrients will really get into your body properly is to use your left hand. You will struggle. If somebody is monitoring you, you will try. But when nobody is there, just like, well, at least I survived these 35 years. But when you teach your child something over and over again, it becomes a part of them. And then, of course, The Adventures of Mona, a very popular storybook that uses stories to teach different safety concepts for your children. So back to this iceberg, physical hazard. So you've seen now, we've talked about the things at the top, right? Now let's now go into the things that will be at the bottom that if you don't handle could cause problems for you and your children much later. Emotional safety, the body conversation. Did you know that 60 to 70% of sexual assaults happen that's in your house or near your house or in a relative's home? They went there for holiday, they went for sleepover, they went for an event and all of that. Did you know? And this is by RAINN. RAINN is this network of rape, abuse, and incest. So if 60 to 70%, what is happening under your roof that you're currently not aware of? Because you are too busy, because you're not paying attention, because you're only looking at electrical sockets, you're only looking at hotspots, you're only looking at falls. Meanwhile, this could actually hamper your child's confidence, creating trauma. Did you also know that 90% of child sexual abuse is perpetrated by a known and trusted person? So many times it's not a stranger. It is somebody that has built a relationship. Person has groomed them. So if something like that were to happen in your home, would your child be confident to come to you and say, this is happening to me? Have you created an opportunity for your child to have an open conversation without fear that you're going to shout at them, that you're going to blame them first before you even try to diagnose about the root cause? And did you know that 93% of victims under 18 know their abuser and that 34% are family members? So you notice that there is this uncle, one cousin or whatever that lives in your house, that your child is very uncomfortable around the person. But you're like, it's just one of those things. You didn't investigate to find out what exactly is going on here. If we're not paying attention, my mentor always says that what you're not paying attention to is paying attention to you. You must pay attention. So yes, feed your children well. Very important, because we need them healthy and strong. But we also need their emotions to be well catered to. We don't want anybody to traumatize them, because hurt people are the ones hurting people in society. And this is the best time to actually take care of them so that what we don't want doesn't happen down the line. So I know that you've seen the statistics and you're already like, hey, God, don't panic. First step, do not panic. Because when you panic, you're going to make wrong choices, you're going to make wrong decisions. And that's not the goal of this session. I do not want you to panic. Instead, I want you to get knowledge. So everybody here on this call, I celebrate you for being here. Because there are many people that are supposed to be here. They refuse. They are not here right now. But you are here because you know that you want to get information so that you can do better in your parenting. So I applaud you for that. But you have to take it a step further. Don't get constipated with knowledge. When you get information, you have to ask yourself, how can I share this in a way that will be relatable to the people in my sphere of influence? How can I break this knowledge to my child in a way that they will understand and see that I love them? I'm not just being hard. I'm really looking out for their interest. How can I also break it down to the stakeholders in my family? So you have caregivers, you have family friends and all of that in a way that they don't cross the boundaries that you are setting for your child. And then be a safe space. Because if you're not a safe space, your child will not tell you anything. A while ago, I was in a school in Abuja. We're having a session with children, and I asked them to ask a question. And this maybe she'll be 7 years old. Let me see in the chat if that's for me. Okay, all right. Yeah, maybe she'll be 7. She said, somebody touched her private parts. I'm like, okay, did you tell your mom? She said she told her mom. What did your mom do? She said nothing. How can a 7-year-old tell me, a stranger, that she told her parents that somebody touched her private part, and she's telling me that the parent did nothing? How can your child confidently tell a stranger that they told you something that important and you did nothing? So the thing is, it is possible that the mom did something, but the child is not aware. And what that means is that down the line, something else might happen to that child, and that child will not tell because they feel you will not do anything. That is not a great place for any child. That is not a great place. So be a safe space. When your children come and they tell you something, before you say that they are lying, investigate, find out. But you have to show them the body language that I am here to defend you. I will stand by you. When you do your investigations, maybe if it's bad behavior, they are bullying someone, please address it, because you don't want to send out badly behaved children also. But they must know that you are going to defend them. When they do wrong, you're going to speak up that they do wrong. But when they do right or somebody is hurting them, that you are going to defend them. Your child must be that confident about you. It's very important. As old as I am, and it's not like I'm that old, I'm fairly young, in quotes. But there are things that I just need to send a message to my father and it will happen. And because my dad is much older, he's going to be 70 this year, I don't want to ask him, but my dad feels like he's very young and nobody's telling him he's getting old and all. So many times we don't want to tell him to. But when maybe you've tried to get something done and it's not working, tell my father, solution, we are so sure. Before you know it, you need to take overnight the solution. So if I can confidently say that, and I'm this old, young in quotes, but you get, your children should also be able to say the same thing about you. They should be that confident that my father, my mother will stand for me, will defend me. So if somebody tells them, if you tell anybody, I will kill you, they know my father, my mother, if I tell them, they will not kill me, they will protect me. It's very important. So We have a resource that can help you with this. It's a 52-week guide. It's called Raising Safety Conscious Children. And in this resource, what we did was we created like several buckets, like major areas. And one of them is body safety and personal boundaries. And so I just put week 1 for you. Please take a screenshot, use this, and yeah, use this. Feel free to use to use this. So each week we have a topic. We give you an idea of what to teach. We tell you the key message that you should pass across to your child. And then we give you some tips for discussion. So how can you have this conversation with your child about it? And then we give you ideas of suggested activities, what you can do. We also give you some safety vocabulary that you can ask your child, what does this mean? When you hear this, what comes to mind? It's just to foster conversation because again, to build a safe space, you need to be talking to your children. And you have to be talking when there is no problem so that the day that there is problem, they can talk. So have an opportunity for conversation early on so that it is easy for you to also get information from them. And then for older kids, we take it a notch higher. But this helps you to begin to talk about difficult things. And because again, you're not a safety professional, you don't know, right? But with this guide, you can know, okay, this is what we should talk about. And then you have something, discussion point, you discuss, you learn. It's a learning experience. It's a core memory for you and your children. So again, back to this child safety iceberg. So are you seeing that beyond the physical, there is a whole lot more we need to do at on the areas where eyes cannot see? Now, let's take you to online safety because you are watching me online. I'm joining this call from New York. So I'm not the only reason I'm here to be in the room with you is because Zoom made it possible. So many of us, same way, we are joining our children rather are getting involved in games, in different activities online, whether it is you that gave them the device, you bought it for them, or they are watching something with you on your own device. So the world has changed, the game has changed. So online safety is a real issue. So is your child safe or addicted? Do you even know? Have you noticed? 8% of children globally are exposed to online sexual exploitation. And this data was done across 57 countries. The sources are beneath. 60% of children aged 8 to 12 has been exposed to one or more cyber risk. Data, 30 countries. 75% of teenagers have encountered nudity or content of a sexual nature online. Maybe it's even from your phone. Because again, many times we use our devices to distract our children. You don't want to talk to them, when you go and play a game, and then you forgot that there's something you put there and it's not locked somewhere, and your child dabbles into something on your device. And then 1 in 3 children have had a negative online experience in the past year. Somebody has tried to bully them, call them names, made them think that they were not beautiful, they were not good enough, they were not fine, and all those things that are going on. How can you ensure that you keep your child safe even in this digital era? That's digital parenting, where you are trying to maximize the benefits of the digital world and minimize the potential risk. Because the truth is, many times we are the ones that introduce our children to the online space. Come and take a selfie. Let's send this picture to our daddy. Let's send this picture to our family friend. Or say hi to grandma. And they are saying hi to grandma. So we have introduced them. So you can't blame them that these children, no matter very young, they know how to take selfies. They will say, let me help you to take a picture, and they will even take better pictures than some adults. That's the era they were born in. But we have a responsibility, we have a responsibility, to teach them how to maximize the benefit. Yes, it helps us to foster connection with our loved ones. We might not be able to see them, but we can have a conversation. So my niece is going to be a year older in a few days, and she's in New Jersey. I'll not be able to go to New Jersey, even though it's a bit close to New York on that day. But I'm going to do a video call her mommy and speak with her, and all of that. So maximizing the benefits. Then how do we minimize the potential risk? Because there are risks, and you must be willing to combat them. So how do you know your child is addicted? Excessive usage. Every time they're on that tab, their head is bowed down. And when your head is down too much, there's something called text neck syndrome, because the weight of your head is actually heavy, it now becomes too much for this part of your body because it's staying in that position for too long. So even you as an adult, you must try to maintain the right posture when you use your devices. So if your child that is small is already bending too much, and remember, this is their formative stage, long term is going to cause a problem for them. So when you see excessive usage, it's a red flag. You must stop it. How do you stop it? You must set time limits. They are not supposed to spend 24/7 on any device. And I'm not going to be the one to tell you, oh, don't give devices to your children, because as I've grown in the course of doing this work, I have seen that there are many reasons why parents introduce devices to their children. I know a family where they are currently in a divorce situation. So father and mother are in different places. So the child has to be with this parent at so and so number of days and be another parent at so and so number of days. And so the mom had to give this child that is less than 10 years old a device so that she can call and check from time to time that is everything okay and all of that. Knowing that peculiar situation, will I tell this mom, mostly because she's concerned about the father and, how parenting is done at that side, will I tell that mom not to give the child the device when I know that that device for her is a safety gadget to check in with this child? So you can see that the way the world is changing and because of the issues going on in our world, the best we can do is put guardrails. There's no, should I say, one size fits all solution for everybody, but we can create guardrails based on our unique context. So you must set time limits and boundaries. When you notice your child is having withdrawal symptoms, you collect the tab. JR, please don't write on my screen. Thank you. Okay. So when you notice that you collect your tab, the tab from the child, they are throwing heavenly tantrum. Nobody will hear what again. They are not feeling sick. That's a big red flag. It's a problem. No, because it shouldn't be. It's too early. It's too early for all that. So when a child begins to have withdrawal symptoms on account of, that's a problem. That's a problem. So how do you manage that? Engage them in hobbies. So you must make sure that your children are doing things that take them outside, other games that use their intellect beyond using a device. So do you guys play card games at home? Is a child playing soccer in school? Is a child involved in ballet dancing? Is a child... Find other hobbies that would engage them totally so that this will support that time limit that you are creating. Because they shouldn't be having withdrawal symptoms because you took a device from them. No, it's unacceptable. And then when you notice that your child is neglecting responsibilities, you ask them to maybe, for example, take their dishes to the kitchen sink or to wash their own dish after they had a meal, or to just sweep where they ate because food poured on the floor. Depending on the age of your child, these examples, context is important, But then they are not. They are so engrossed. They are inside the device. It's a problem. It's a problem. And you have to cut the loop. You are the parent. The child is not your parent. The child, at the level, at this beginning, your child is not supposed to be your friend, in quotes. You are supposed to be the one setting the boundaries. Yes, you should be your child's friend, don't get me wrong, but I think you understand what I mean. When it is time to set boundaries about what should be done, that is not the time to be trying to be a friend. That's the time to be a parent and parent in that moment. How can you manage this? Create systems for support and accountability. Oh, you want to play with your device? Not a problem at all. When we do this, this is a repercussion. When we do this, this is what happens. After this, this is done. Can you see? So when you loop it like that, you are creating like habit stacking. You are creating cause and effect, plans in your home. You are creating that system that they know that when we are done eating, we have to clear up our dishes, take it to the kitchen, help mom to sort things out, or help dad as it were. And when we are done with that, we are done with our assignment, and all them we can play a game for so and so number of minutes. Can you see what I am doing? Yes, so you must create a system of support, and you can't do it alone. And that's why having communities like what you have with Nutrition for Kids is very important, so that the day that you are weak, You will get ginger from your community members. You go again tomorrow. Never beat yourself up. So maybe as I'm speaking, you're already feeling guilt. No, no, no. This is not to cause any guilt. Yesterday is gone. Today is a brand new day. We move. So that's the same thing. Make sure that you have support also from your peers in the community. And then, of course, continuous education. The cycle continues. Okay, you must keep learning. As you're learning, you're teaching your children. It's a continuous, we never really arrive. We're always a work in progress. Many things I know today, I didn't know when I started the Safety Chick. Years down the line, I've learned a lot, and there's still so much more I'm going to learn in the future going forward. So it's the same thing on our parenting journey. Resources, we have resources for you. Teaching online safety, we have a 12-week guide. So it takes you through different aspects of safety. But this is most, yeah, for children and teenagers, yes. Online safety just helps you break it down and teaches you what you can do. We have an online safety checklist for parents. So it helps you to actually check what are you doing well and how to create some system to manage this. And then we have the online safety checklist for children. This one, you can actually print it out and maybe stick it to your fridge. And then your children, you work on it with your kids so that they are responsible online, Yeah, so that will help you. Haha, back again to this our child safety iceberg. So can you see? So yes, so safety is about ensuring that your child is protected from harm. So but beyond the physical hazard, create an enabling environment where there is that emotional security is very important. You want your child to feel safe to fail around you. You want them to be resilient. You want them to trust. You want them to feel a sense of belonging in the home, that these are my own people, and that they can speak and know that their feelings will be validated and not thrown away. That she's always lying. Like she just said something. She has not even landed. You already said she's always lying. How do you want her to tell you something in future? So we must ensure that we are creating those safe spaces for our kids. So what is one thing you're going to begin to do differently after listening to me today, this week, or in this season of your life? I'm going to be looking through the comment section for that. And then ensuring child safety is a choice. It's an intentional choice every day. It is not an accident. So thank you so much for listening to me. And I will be stopping right there. Tell me in the
Thank you
chat. Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much. You need to see what I'm chatting with my co-founder and that. Wow. I've learned so much. This is a lot. This is a lot of good information. Please, I'm just seeing one or two claps. It's supposed to be more than this now. Have you not been blessed? Please. Let me see. Are there questions? Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. You covered every single thing, every single aspect. Where can we get your books? I know your IG page is at the Safety Chick. Let me put it in the so you can follow her. How can everybody get the book?
Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat, www.thesafetychick.com/store. Yeah, everything is on there, and yeah, you can find all you need.
So we'll put it in the WhatsApp group also, so that people would have access to it, so that in case of this chat goes off, they will know what to do. Please, do you have questions? Questions.
Thank you, Favor.
We have one more speaker. Then we need to go. We have spent so much time. I'm sorry, mamas. We know who said 7 o'clock. We're sorry, but it's what it's now. It's not what. Is the time not worth it? So if anybody has questions, please follow our page so that you can ask questions or get our resources also. Thank you so much, Ugochi. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate this. I was telling my co-founder that wow. I'll just be siren.
It was so good. It was so
it was so good. Thank you so much. So the last speaker is Advantage Pharma. They are our sponsor for this program. you have to wait to the end of Advantage Health talk, because they want to give a couple of moms free tickets for PEDs. So if you are lucky, you can be one of them.
This call really touched my spirit. I'm sharing the website right now, and I just want you guys to see how affordable these books are. And she also has an app, a game safety app. I've actually seen this app before, but I didn't even know it was yours. So I'm definitely going to. There are games as well. She also has games as well. I mean, she has a lot that you can get. There are hard copy books, wherever you live. So I highly recommend it, honestly. And it's by category. So whether you're a parent, see the age gaps available. So you just pick one that is available to your child. Honestly, guys, I highly recommend it. This has been.
We'll put this in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Please, it's highly recommended. And they are very affordable again. Wow. Sorry, you have seen customer. Thank you so much, Ugochi. Yeah, so we'll be calling on the last speaker. They are Advantage Health. Apart from speaking today, they are also going to be giving out, at the end of today's session, they're going to be giving out 4 tickets for free for PEDs. So please, so I'm going to be calling on Farmer Prosper Okafor. Is it Farmer? I'll be pharmacist.